My name is Scott McWilliams. I'm going to be your presenter today on how to lay a laminate flooring. Through our learning, we have learned that individuals learn in a variety of different ways and that the cookie cutter approach does not work anymore. We have many different multimedia devices out there that we can bring the presentation to life for the individual. Through my presentation, I hope to build on the cognitive theory of multimedia learning as discussed in Clark and Mayer of 2008, e-learning. Also, as we go through things, I want to just make it clear that I am not a professional. I do not claim to be a professional laying a floor, but I have laid a few of them, and I have came up with a few tips and things that will help you. For more advice, you can go to DIYnetwork.com or Lowe's.com videos for further videos and stuff to show exactly what they recommend to lay the floor. Now, when looking at your room, you want to make sure that you have everything up off of the floor, have it clean, all the staples and everything up if you're going to lay it down where carpet used to be. I have found out that you cannot lay it over top of carpet. So you have to go down to the subfloor. When looking at your laminate flooring, there's many different varieties out there, and you just have to figure out which one you want. And it really depends on your application. If you're going to lay it down on a cement or an area that's going to have moisture coming up from the bottom, you need to lay a vapor barrier down. Now keep in mind, this is going to run you about $50, depending on your area, for about 100 square feet of moisture barrier. So take that into account when you're looking at your floor. It might be better to go ahead and get a floor that already has it on the back. My floor I went with has the cardboard paper on the back because my application, I do not have moisture coming up, but I wanted it more for sound barrier. When I do a floor, I usually start with my far wall and I lay down my floor. And when you're laying down your floor, you want to make sure you leave about 1/8 of an inch gap for a free floating floor. But make sure you don't go too far so your trim will cover it up when you're done. Yes, I've made that mistake. As I go about, I start with a full board in my corner and I work my way down, snapping it into each one as I go. Now what I have found, there are many tools out there that you can go and buy to tap it into place and all this. What I have found is get me a scrap piece of laminate flooring, put it up against the end and tap it with the hammer. You want to do that because at the end of a click type laminate flooring, you don't want to damage that clip area. So with that piece of laminate that goes all the way across, and you lay it against the bottom here, and you tap it into place. Then it locks it into place and gives you a nice tight seal without damaging the area. Then when you start, after you do your row down the thing, then you want to start back up at the beginning with a half sheet. You don't want to just lay full sheet to full sheet because then all of your seams will line up. You want them staggered so that it gives it more strength. This is my helper here. More strength so the floor doesn't bow and bend. As I work through, when I get down here to the end, this is one of those secrets that I learned the hard way after ruining a couple boards. Usually when you're laying down, you will come down to the end and you're like, okay, well, I only need this much section of board. How am I going to do that? Well, you could take the tape measure and try to do this and that and try to get it correctly, what I have found easy to do is take the thing, take the board, flip it over with your end that you're going to snap into the last piece towards the wall. Butt it up against the wall, move it back about the 1/8 of an inch, come up with your last board that comes into connects underneath and mark with a pencil. Saw on the back side, and when you flip it over, your piece here is the length that you need to snap it into place at the end. It saves you time, saves you energy, and like I said, with this stuff being so expensive, you want to make sure that you do it right the first time so you're not wasting any boards. And then, with the rest of it, you can start your next row that you need to start a half section with. When you do it, it turns out very nice and very beautiful. I'm currently working on my own floor at this point in time, and I'm hoping this saves you time, saves you some frustration, and hopefully just helps you out. Now I want to ask some questions and see if what I have said has made it through. When laying your floor, what do you have to do to your floor first? You want to make sure it's clean. Then you want to, when you're laying your rows, are you going to stagger your joints, or are you going to keep them even? You want to keep them staggered, because if you do keep them even, then it's going to weaken it, and then you're going to get the flex at the joints. When you come down to the end of a wall, and you only need part of a sheet, part of a board, what are the different ways of marking it so that you can get your short board? Yeah. You can use your tape measure, or you can flip it over, mark it with a pencil, and cut it that way. I have found when cutting it, it is best to put it face side down on your saw, so that you do not rip the laminate flooring on top. Because keep in mind, this is going to be out here where you can see it. I hope this presentation has helped you out. I hope it has been educational. Through an absorbing lecture and demonstration, like I said, it is very fun to do, and I do hope that this helps you out a little bit. Thank you, and have a wonderful day.